Hey everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Heilman Haver on the road. And we are here at the Roxy Theater, the Historic Roxy Theater in beautiful Bremerton, Washington, with Amy Coull. And Amy, tell us your position with the West Sound Film Festival.
I'm the executive director of the West Sound Film Festival.
So you're in charge of the whole thing.
In charge of the whole thing.
All right.
All right, welcome back in person this time.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know, if you guys remember last time we had a series of interviews with Amy about the earlier 2021, which I guess was the 2020.
It was the 2020. We just had to keep pushing it back a bit because of the restrictions.
Yep, and we did everything virtually, but now things are opening up, and we're here at the theater, which is where the festival is going to be. So do we have dates lined up for the festival?
Yes, it's going to be August 6th through the 8th. We're really excited about it. That's a weekend, so no reason not to come down and have a good time.
And is this the only venue for this one?
No, actually. We're also going to be, well, we have another theater we're in talks with. I don't want to say anything definitely until we get a little closer, but they're close by, so I think you can.
Nice. So you could do some math in your head and maybe make assumptions that.
Yeah, things in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And for those who aren't in Bremerton, because we do have listeners and viewers elsewhere in the country and world, is there going to be an online element as there was last year? Because that was awful nice for those people who couldn't make it.
That was very nice. It's just hard with legalities, and also with our filmmakers usually do not want their information online. They don't want their films online for because they're trying to get them distributed, and a lot of distributors have rules regarding online access.
Interesting. They made exceptions last year then, obviously.
Last year was the exception, and I sent out, we made sure to send out to each of the filmmakers to let them know. We had a couple that had to drop out because of that, unfortunately, but they were very understanding, understood what was the reasoning and everything. So yeah, but this year we won't be able to have the online option, but we are accepting films from all over the world. We've gotten quite a few from India, UK, Canada, like just all over the world already. So we're really excited about that again and getting to see different viewpoints.
Nice. And are you going to be able to have some of the directors, the filmmakers come to the film festival?
Yes, I can't tell you exactly how many right now because we haven't finished the selection process yet. But I do know of a couple of filmmakers who have let me know that if they get in, they will definitely be traveling here from all over the country. So.
Awesome. We'll try to get some time in with some interviews and things like that and get the word out for sure.
For sure. And so it's not too late to still enter, though. You're going to be taking entries through the end of June, is that right?
Yes. July 1st will be the last day for entries because that gives us a month to get through everything and finalize and make the schedule and everything. But yeah, right. May 31st is our last day for regular entry, and then July 1st is our last day for late entry.
Okay.
And all of our entries are accepted through Film Freeway.
So what category are you seeing the most entries in so far?
Short narrative, definitely. I've watched a lot of horror films. We always get a lot of horror.
That's not your favorite, I understand.
I have grown to love horror films. I am definitely a jumpy person. Before any of these films show at the festival, I sit in the theater and watch all of them, all of the blocks and all of the films from beginning to end to make sure that they work and make sure we don't have any technical difficulties day of. And one of the times I did that, we were in the theater until about midnight, and I sent my husband out to grab us something to eat, not thinking about the fact that it was now the horror block. So I'm in a dark theater by myself where all these terrifying films are being shown. And I remember I got 15 minutes into it and called him and was like, just come back. Please come back.
Drop what you're doing.
Well, and as with like writing, it's often harder to write less than more. And do you find that's the same? Do you find that the shorts lack anything that a long narrative, is? I guess what I'm trying to say is it possible to tell a complete story in a short period of time like that? We were talking about a horror film you saw that was like 30 seconds long.
Oh my goodness,
it's possible to scare somebody in 30 seconds?
Oh yes, definitely. I think it depends on the story. I've seen short films that move me to tears in less than 5 minutes. Like if you know how to tell your story, I don't think time is always a factor. Now, am I going to get to see as further in depth into that character as we would in a feature film? No. But we have a microfilm category, and I've seen films that are less than a minute long that have made me laugh and that have made me feel extremely sad or extremely scared. I think it just depends on what kind of story you want to tell.
Yeah, and I remember even going through some of the Oscar-nominated shorts this year and watching. There was the one that won the animated short, In Case Anything Happens, I Love You, I think is the name of it. And that was just, boy, that was a killer in that short amount of time. And to your point, you can, if the story's done right, you build the suspense, you set things up, and you just hit it, and it really hits home.
I've also been really excited to see, we've had 1 or 2 times where someone has sent in a short film, and then the next 2 years or so, they've sent in a feature based on that short film. And it was incredible. It was very well done. So,
almost a trailer and then the full thing.
yeah, it was like a clip, yeah.
No, Tim Burton's Frankenweenie was a short originally, and then eventually became a feature film.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Do you ever have silent films entered? We've been talking a lot about silent films, and Greg's been watching a lot of silent films. We've been interviewing experts on silent films. Is there a silent film category? Do you ever see that employed in the short films as, I guess, a style anymore?
I do see those. Actually, last year we had one. I think it was called Flicker Free, but the whole thing was about a silent movie actor who gets brought to life, and he's trying to get into a different movie that has a woman that he loves in it.
Oh, that's
and he's trying to get into there. And that one was adorable, and I absolutely loved it. I'm a huge silent film fan. One of my favorite films is Nosferatu. I love that movie. So I'd like to see more of them. We don't have a category for it, but it just depends if it falls into comedy, if it falls into horror. I mean, it would definitely be something we'd welcome.
Is that something that if you started to see an influx of more silent films that you would create a category, or are you more creating the categories based on genre more than medium or style?
A little bit of both. Okay. When we start to see, because it's hard to, when we make our categories, we start off with the basics. But if we start to see we're getting a lot of this certain genre, then we do make categories for that. Last year we had a Rising Star Award. That is because we saw an influx of very talented student filmmakers. So we try to adjust to what we're receiving, but we also start off with a couple of categories that is stuff that we'll always get. We'll always get horror, we'll always get comedy, Those are categories we start off with, and then we just grow from there. It's all about adjusting to your audience and adjusting to your content.
Okay.
Now, a foreign film, so you have an entry from India or Great Britain. Last year there were quite a few from around the world. Do those automatically go into a foreign film category? Can they span categories? So say it's a funny film from India. Does it go into comedy and foreign film? Or is there a foreign film category? Maybe it just goes into whatever genre it's in.
At this point, we don't have a foreign film category. We usually just put it into whatever category the film is for. We haven't really had an issue with that. We've had a couple films from last year. The best feature film came from Australia.
That's right. Do you have anything that's captioned?
We've had a couple that are captioned. Yes, that silent film was definitely just like old silent films
with the plates.
Yeah, exactly.
So, for someone who's never been to a film festival and isn't familiar with shorts and things like that, what would you tell somebody who's like, I don't know, I don't know if this is for me? What would you tell them for a first timer?
I think that the idea of shorts has been more widely accepted now that we have things like TikTok, YouTube. We're used to shorts now. It's just like watching a tiny television show. But I usually tell them, if you don't like something that's playing on the screen, wait a few minutes, it'll change.
Kind of like the weather in the Northwest.
Exactly.
So if you haven't been to Bremerton, you've never been to a short film festival, now's a great opportunity. You can experience both.
Exactly.
So in the virtual film festival, which was honestly my first film festival of any type I've ever participated in, you could watch every block, every film, without a schedule. Whenever you wanted to. I could be at 2 a.m. I could watch the horror block or the screwball comedies. Now with it being in person, obviously there's going to be a schedule. How is the schedule determined as far as which are shown when? Are features shown at a certain time of day, because crowds might be better? Or is there a certain methodology to creating a schedule?
There's a little bit of a methodology to it. There's certain things that, in my experience as a director, I have noticed that certain things do well at certain times. Horror films do better at night. Documentaries usually do better earlier in the day. So it just depends. It also depends on scheduling. I try to accept as many films as possible. It is every filmmaker who submits a film has spent time and money into these. It's a huge process. People don't realize that. They think that someone just goes out, it's a 10-minute film, so they spent 10 minutes filming it. No. That can take entire weekends, not to mention the planning beforehand.
Yeah.
There's a huge amount of work.
Kind of like a podcast.
Yeah. There's editing, there's costuming, there's settings. It's huge. So I try to accept as many films as possible. So that makes it so that we have to make the schedule accommodate that. Whereas also making sure that we can have Q&As after for the filmmakers who are going to be here. So there's a little bit of that, and also trying to base it around, for example, I've had filmmakers contact me and be like, hey, look, I'm coming to the film festival, but I can't take that Friday off. I won't be there till Saturday.
Okay.
Is there any way you can work? And I try to accommodate that as much as I can. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can.
So for amateur filmmakers, professional filmmakers, people who are interested in entering and coming as a viewer, where can they get the information?
We have all the information at westsoundfilmfestival.com, our website. We also have an Instagram and a Facebook. At this point, again, we don't have the schedule up and everything, but if you'd like to submit, we're up on Film Freeway.
Great.
And then when will people be able to buy tickets?
Probably after this, probably the second week or the third week of July. Just depends on how long it takes for us to finalize and to make the schedule. After we finalize who's accepted, sometimes we have to wait a little bit to make sure that the filmmakers have time to respond and let us know if they're going to be able to be there or not. So we try to give them that.
And how does that work with ticketing? Can you buy different levels of ticketing? Buy just for a block, buy for the entire festival?
Yes. We're going to have block tickets available. We'll also have one-day passes, and we'll have 3-day passes that'll get you to everything. We'll have VIP passes that'll get you into certain events that are filmmakers only as well.
Okay.
Excellent.
Good deal.
So again, check out the West Sound Film Festival. We're here with Executive Director Amy Coull at the beautiful Historic Roxy Theater in Bremerton. And stay tuned to Heilman and Haver, the podcast, and watch our YouTube channel for more information and interviews and all kinds of exciting things as the West Sound Film Festival ramps up. And we're so excited to be here in person and looking forward to an in-person film festival in August. So thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time today.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, stay tuned, folks.